Witam wszystkich bardzo serdecznie. Dzisiaj z nami jest jeden z najbardziej utalentowanych gitarzystów współczesnych, Marco Sfogli, znany ze współpracy m.in. z James'em LaBrie. Hi Marco.
Hello.
You are best known for cooperation with James LaBrie. Yes. Tell me something about it. Something more.
Okay, so it's a collaboration that started 10 years ago. I was called to record the record that was Elements of Persuasion back then, and we went on a solo tour for a year. The next year for a full month touring all over the world, and that was pretty successful. And then, of course, I did 2 more records with James. Static Impulse came out in 2010, and Impermanent Resonance came out last year. So it's a collaboration that still lasts to this day. We're very good friends. We're constantly writing new stuff, and I hope there will be a new tour, in the future.
Yeah, that's great. Time for an obvious question. Practice. Okay. How to be as efficient as it is possible when it comes to talking about practicing your guitar?
Well, I think it's a matter of finding the right time and concentration to study. I've seen a lot of people struggling with technique because they couldn't find like enough time in the day to get concentrated. Because you can have like 2 hours and practice for 2 hours, but that can even be pointless if you don't get concentrated on those 2 hours. So I'd rather have a small short routine practicing sessions per day, like 30 minutes, 1 hour, but being very, very concentrated, than having like 4 hours, 5 hours thinking about family and,
of course.
And other stuff.
So no Facebook, no
exactly.
Twitter, no cell phone.
I think 30 minutes, 1 hour is enough for anyone, but you have to shut up the phone and no Facebook, no friends, no calls, no PlayStation, no anything.
So your advice is to be extremely concentrated.
Yes,
on the
that's when you get the results.
People grow up; they are no longer children. There are so many things to do. We can have a family, a job, or something. What is your advice to mix passion with everyday life?
Well, I think music has to first be a passion, and then eventually can become a job. So I was fortunate because I started as a musician, and I had so many interesting things to do with music. So I play in a folk band, and I play in metal bands. I play my own solo stuff, and eventually later on I became a father. So I have a family, and which is it's important because it's a priority. So you have to dedicate time to that. But I think eventually, with a good organization, you can pretty much deal with both the family, the wife, the music, writing, teaching, and all that music involves. Of course, you have to be dedicated to both. So finding the right time in the day to study and then maybe go out with the kids and have fun, I think it's essential to get along with music and the family eventually.
So tell me about something more about your gear, your guitars, your amplifiers, and effects, stuff like that.
Okay, so I use as far as guitars goes, I use Ibanez guitars. They just came to me with a custom model that's been made on my specs, and has a basswood body with DiMarzio pickups, Northern, and a 3-way switch that's very, very simple. It has all the tones that I need. So I wanted a guitar that I can actually play all the different styles that I usually play in my solo stuff. And as far as the amps goes, I'm using DB Mark, mostly the multi-amp, which is very easy to set up. It's very easy to carry. It's light, has you know, a lot of tone, and has all the effects that I need. So I don't need anything else but a cab and a MIDI pedal board to play. And then other stuff that I use, well, every now and then I use analog pedal board with you know, classic DC electronic delays and chorus, and have some exotic overdrives and Ibanez tube screamer, and that's pretty much that's pretty much it.
Okay, so maybe you can share something more about your plans connected with music, mostly with music, but maybe some other plans.
Okay, yeah. New things. I have a record that's been just announced with 3 other guitar players. One being Tom Quayle from the UK, and the other being Alessandro Benvenuti from Italy. So it's going to be a fusion project. It's quite different from what I usually play. So it's going to be interesting. Other plans is writing with Matt Guillory, who's the keyboard player for James'a LaBrie, writing his first solo album. So it's going to be a very modern driven. He's going to sing on it, so it's going to be very interesting. And that's pretty much it. Then, you know, the usual fair trades like the NAMM show and Music Messy and more clinics. So that's pretty much my plan for 2015.
Okay, thank you very much for this short conversation. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.